Hi, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today's video is for the Summon Lovin YouTube and Instagram hop organised by my wonderful friend Moira O'Reilly, and she's asked us to create a summary project. So I'm going with a summary layout. It's actually from April 2010 and it's 2 pictures of my children at the beach making sandcastles. So I decided I wanted to add some texture paste to this design, and I've gone in with the stencil from the Sun Chaser collection and my Tim Holtz texture paste, and I'm just going to do a line down the centre of the page. Both of my photos are vertical, so I'm going to have them positioned next to each other in the centre of the paper. So I'm using the Sun Chaser collection for this, plus some JD3D Print pieces from his latest beach collection, which just look brilliant on this. You'll see them shortly. So once the texture paste has been put through the stencil, I'll leave that to dry. Where I've had to layer the stencil over, I was a bit thick, so I'm just using my spatula to just pull a few bits off. I didn't have some tissue to hand, so using my hand, but I'm going to go and clean all that off anyway. So coming back in with some Distress Oxides, I start with the fossilised amber to emulate the sand, and I'm just going to dot that in. It was a bit too strong in colour for me, so I've gone in with my water just to water that down and get it all in between the texture paste. And then I'll just build up the colours using worn lipstick for the pink and speckled egg for the blue. I don't think I bothered with the dried marigold in the end, so I'll leave you to watch that. Now I'm going to leave that to dry, and then I'll come in with the photos and start embellishment. Just adding a few splatters, and you'll see it's beautiful once it's dry, and then I add the photos on and all that colour is more or less covered. So just typical, and this is why I tend to add pencil marks and position my photos before I start doing mixed media, because this is what happens. I cover up all the lovely colour that I've created, but it's fine. You still see the worn lipstick and the yellow on there. So just going through some of the scraps of 12 by 12 papers that I've got. I've only got a couple, but I want to add a vertical theme down the centre of the page to match in with that mixed media. So I want to go in with this star paper and create a border edge using my notebook punch from EK Success. This is available at Hey Little Magpie. And I just love what this adds. I think I got the idea from 49er Market. They've got a few pieces like this in their laser cut ephemera pieces, and I thought it was a great way to add a vertical element to a page. And this paper goes really well because of the pink jumper that Amelia is wearing in the photo. So I'll just trim that down to size and add that vertically. You see me tearing a tiny bit off the top. I didn't want it to go edge to edge, so just taking a bit off the top just solves that problem. And then I wanted to add a strip of this black text paper, but I didn't want to have the words running the wrong way. So I'm just carefully cutting so that I can add a piece to the top and then a piece to the bottom. And it doesn't matter that they're not aligned. Just want that black to make your eye follow down the page. And then going in with some of the 6x8 pad. I love this mustard paper. So just adding some more layers around the photos. And I've put that bucket and spade there from JD3D Print because I know that I definitely want to use that. And I also definitely want to use the title. So just adding those. So now I'm happy with the placement of those bits. I'm going to start gluing things down. And it's a bit of a feat over all this texture paste. So I think that wet glue is normally the best when you're doing that. So just eyeballing it, adding that down, and then I'll add the other bits. And once that central strip's down, I'm going to focus on gluing the photos down. I want the two sandcastle buckets to align next to each other, and I'm going to go in with double-sided tape for this, the double-sided tissue tape, because I want an instant stick. The wet glue, they might slide around a bit, and I don't want to move them once they're down. So you'll see I start higher up and then realise that's it, I want them both to be aligned. So just sticking the one of James down, and then I'll have to lift them to add those two yellow mats that I'd forgotten about. And they probably didn't need to be anywhere near that big. I could have cut them down, but that's fine. Sometimes you just want speed and I want to save every scrap. So just carefully pulling that one up so I can add that. And then I'll go in with some wet glue just to secure them. And this is the Nouveau Deluxe adhesive, which I love using so much. And I see these little offcuts from the punch and just want to add some of those for extra texture. And when I turn this one over, I realise it's a slightly darker pink on the other side, so I'll go with that for this bottom one. But the top one's an aqua blue and it's a bit too much because I haven't really got the blue anywhere else in the layout. I didn't want to start introducing another colour because the speckled egg inking that we'd put on is all covered up now. And now I'm going to start looking through the other bits and pieces we've got. So starting with the ephemera pack, I'll have a look to see what else we've got that we can add there. Just going in with some of these JD3D Print pieces. I like the seashell, but that one's not right. I want to go in with this fan shell. And remembering that I wanted the bucket and spade. So now pulling out, and I've used these a few times on layouts, but they keep giving. So that Better Together tag looks nice at the top there. And then just looking through what else we've got. I like this star. I think I tried that on another layout recently and it didn't make it, but I'm determined. And this have fun phrase. So try that in a few different places before finding its resting place. Once I have this star here, I start to add a little cluster of stars. I find another one that fits nicely with it. And for a while I toy with the idea of adding this tag, which goes quite nicely with the photos, but I just can't get that to fit in with the bucket and spade as well, so I leave that off in the end. Try the bucket and spade in a few different places, but it doesn't work for me. go through some of these Hey Little Magpie ephemera titles and phrases, which do work beautifully with this collection, but not for this layout, not this time. I think because I've already got a title there and I already had a phrase that I was quite keen to use. So go back to that. And now onto the Puffy Stickers. And again, it's just going to be the bits and pieces from this because we've got a title. I really like this circle that says happy. And that works really nicely underneath that bucket. Another star to add to that cluster. And once that's down, I realise I want to start sticking things down, because as soon as I go to the stickers, I know that I have to stick down the other bits that I've got around the layout. Just so that if they move, I'm not thinking, where were they and why did I put that sticker there? So just quickly gluing everything down. And the card's quite warped, but that doesn't bother me because once it's in the album, it sort of flattens itself out. So just gluing that spade on top of the bucket. Putting the title down. And I realise that hasn't quite stuck properly, so just adding a bit more glue. And now I'm going to go through the sticker book to see if there's anything else in this that I want to add. And I see these tags and realise that I haven't got somewhere to put them a date, and I usually use my tab punch, but this time round I think one of these layered with that happy round sticker will be quite nice, and I'm going to write the date around the curve of the circle. I only know that it's April 2010, I don't have the exact date. And then I just want to fill in the white space on that label a bit. So just looking for some little bits. I try this on, but I'm not happy with that. And then I find the hearts and stars. So go in with 2 little stars. Just to fill in that blank space a little bit. And now looking at the phrase stickers, because I've got that better together tag at the top above Amelia's head, I think some of these will be really nice to balance out the layout. So just find a couple. One says sunshine and smiles, and then a pink one that says live in the moment. And I'm really happy with the balance that provides. And just another final look through these puffies, see what else I can add. I find a couple of mustard hearts that go nicely here, just to extend that ephemera collection. A little tidy up to see what else I can do. And I'm going to add a tiny bit of journaling underneath the title here. This isn't the first set of photos that I've scrapped from this day out, but I'm considering doing albums for my children for their 18th birthday, so these layouts might well be split up, so I just want to add the information on each of them. So just quickly writing what we were doing. And of course, not enough lines again, so just one more. And then I did consider doing some more splatters with my Oxide inks, but then I thought, no, I'll come in with my Nouveau drops and just add a few faux enamel dots around the page. And I do put them on the photo as well sometimes. It's just to bring a little bit more interest. And that's it. So thank you so much for joining me. Do check out the description box below for all the other people joining in on this YouTube hop with Moira. Thanks so much, Moira, for organising it, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.